So I just got off work, um, but I read all this out, or I said all this in the car. It was raw, it was real, so I put it into a text document and I'm gonna read it out because I could just upload it, no face, no nothing, but I think this is more authentic. I'm gonna have trouble looking at the camera because I've never done this before. But it's the first episode of hopefully a lot. So I'm gonna read this off. It starts with, so at the beginning of this year, I reached an all-time low in my mental health. Honestly, my physical health kind of. Um, what does that say? Sorry. I'm gonna edit this. Um, I haven't taken care of myself physically or mentally. To say no better, I was and still. It's obviously getting better because I've been applying tactics to make it better, but like meditation and literally just paying attention to what I think and how it's affecting my mindset. And anyways, I fell off doing all that self improvement stuff because I think in bro, so jumbled. I fell off about, I would say, at early 2024, um, late 2023, about there. And in the last few months, I've kind of seriously fallen off mentally and physically. I was pretty locked in on all that kind of stuff. I was reading, I was meditating, I was journaling, I was doing all that crazy stuff. I was working out for a while, like I was working out like a lot, and I always have. I always have worked out, and I always will, because that's just who I am. It's who I am now. Like obviously, I'm nothing special right now, but um, kind of chopped because I shaved all my hair off. But anyways, I was in the best year mentally, I think, in 2023, and I was doing amazing. Like I was pretty stoic. Um I wasn't super reactive to any kind of stressors or anything like that. I was pretty much locked in on what I needed to take care of. And and then life got in the way. I stopped prioritizing those habits. I just thought, well, that's how I am and that's how I'm going to be. And recently, because of whatever, I have fallen off of that. And I've fallen off of how I used to feel and how great I used to feel. And I've been sort of feminine in a way, and kind of like emotionally reactive and not really focusing on what I need to do or what I want to do. And it's not, and it's kind of horrible. It's kind of horrible. Um, but I deserve that. I deserve the exact consequences of my actions. I deserve to feel great. I deserve to feel great in that year, in 2023, when I was really unreactive and pretty great about that kind of stuff. I deserve to feel that. I deserved, I deserve now to feel the way I do because my actions. Everybody deserves the exact consequence of their actions. Um, so probably that slump happened in like from January to March. We're in April now, mid-April, and I'm starting to get things back to where I want them to be. And it just kind of goes to show that you have to you have to know that you're always going to fail. You're always going to fall off, and eventually you're going to hit a slump. Life isn't straight and it's not always up. And a lot of the time you're going to hit down spots, and that's especially where you can't quit. Um, and I kind of touched on this in my script. I'm not even reading it at this point. I'm kind of just paraphrasing and kind of cleaning up what I said because I rambled a lot. Um, but because I'm trying to make this a little bit shorter. Um, So one of my biggest issues was that I went from, and I've kind of always had this thought where it's like people, no matter who you are, no matter to the degree which you have this issue, everybody has control problems. Everybody in the world needs to have control over something. And a lot of the times, in fact, most of the times, people try to control other people. They try to control events, situations. They try to control anything but themselves. And I've always kind of had that like thought where it's like so many people need to control something, but it's never themselves. And as soon as you start to realize that the only thing that you can really, really, truly control in the biggest aspect is yourself. As soon as you come to terms with that, it's gonna mean the world because it means it's super freeing. And as soon as you start saying, well, I'm not gonna worry about things that aren't immediately affecting me, either aren't immediately affecting me, or the people I care about, or I can't change, especially if it's a combination of the two. Because why would you worry about something that doesn't affect you and you can't change? It's like that's ridiculous. But and you're not gonna worry about things that other people are doing. It's their life. Obviously, you can affect change, and obviously, you can try to motivate someone to be better. Obviously, and it's important. It's important as a man, and sometimes even as a woman, to be that person in your friend group that goes, "Hey, we are messed up." I'm trying not to cuss because I'm trying to clean up my language a little bit, and that's part of like because I think that brings like a negative. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The point is, sometimes you have to be that person, and a lot of times that's not about control. It's about especially if you have that frame of like, I'm not trying to help these people to control them. I'm trying to help these people so I can control my ability to help people. And that's a really deeply good thing to do, is to want to be better at helping people. And um, to do this, to honestly and really truly control yourself, you have to have a sense of humility about it. Um, you've got to say, like, I've spent, like, for a lot of people, you got to be like, I've spent so much time trying to control other people that I've really, that I've really and truly fallen off of what I think and what I need to do. So that means that instead of meditating for 10 minutes a day like you used to, you're now meditating for 3 minutes a day. And that's what I've been doing. I'm trying to relate it to my own life. And instead of working out for hours upon hours and like an hour or two and having this really intense, like good workout, sometimes it's just about getting in there. And that's a really big thing. It's just getting in there. And you kind of have to take it with a sense of humility where it's not like where you're not trying to be the best immediately. You're just trying to be better. Um, and that's a lot about control. Um, and a lot about that kind of control and being fulfilled in that way is you master yourself. You master your thoughts. Like how would you try and control what someone else is doing or what's happening if you can't even control what you think or what you do? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, when you say it like that, it doesn't make any sense. And it's incredibly important. Like I said, to have a sense of humility. Um, and obviously, you want a sense of pride. You want not pride in the sense of like, oh yeah, I'm better than everybody, but a sense of pride where you're like, man, I'm proud of myself for being where I was and being where I am. Because at some point, you got to say like sure, you've been up here, but recently you've been here, and now you're somewhere here, but it's better than where you were here, right? Because your best was like here, and like I said, you're here. Like it's better than here, and that's a good thing. That's great. That's fantastic. And every time I look over here, I'm looking at myself. So it probably looks really awkward, but that's what I'm saying. Is that it's all about taking control of who you are, and a lot of why I'm creating this channel, a lot of why that I'm speaking to you like this is because my passion is in helping other people. And I think that um, the better I can get at helping other people, the better I can get at helping myself. Does that make sense? Um, and it's not like forceful, like you need to do this, you need to do it, but it's advice. It's stuff that I've spent a long time thinking about, and it's, um, you know, um, stuff that I've really put a lot of thought into, and that has helped me so much to frame it this kind of way. And whether or not it's like true, whether or not everybody has control issues, whether or not like that's a sincere psychological fact. It's just it's a good way to look at it. And it's not all about psychology. It's not all about like literally the intricate science. It's literally about being better. It's about framing it how you can frame it to be better. And that's exactly what's important. That's exactly what's important is being better and wishing to be better. As soon as you have that thought in your mind where you want to be better, that's when you've started winning. Because a lot of people, they don't even want to be better. A lot of people want to be idiots, and a lot of people want to be stupid, and a lot of people want to go out and party and destroy themselves. But if you're here and if you're listening to this sort of thing, then you want to be better, and that's what's important. But like I said, it's all about kind of letting go, and especially if you're a man, it's about chasing a goal. Um, it's about chasing a purpose because that's when all you're worried about is what you're doing. Like even if you have a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, however you stand on that, like if you're in your masculine, you're chasing something, you're after a goal, a mission, a purpose, and you're not worried about like feelings. Almost like your mind, almost like it switches into this frame where you're just like that's all you're thinking about is how can I do this? How can I do that? What should I do? What should I do? There's ideas constantly in your mind. And if you can't make a mental checklist of that, and if you can't, it's like it's this thing where your brain switches from oh yeah I want relationships, I want to be happy, I want to feel this way, I want things to be easy, I want to lay in bed all day, to let's go out and get this. Like the more I'm working, the better. That's my frame of mind. The more I'm working, the better. And that's a lot about just me taking control of myself. And that's what I've been doing recently. Is like I got in this position where I was blaming other people. I was blaming my girlfriend. I was blaming my family. I was blaming my brother, my work, whatever, on how I feel and what I think. And I'm kind of still in that mindset, and it's a horrible mindset to have because other people, other institutions like your job, whatever, they might have an effect on you, but they don't make you. Other people don't make you. Your thoughts, your actions, and your habits make you. Why am I doing that one? Um, that's what makes you. It's not other people's opinions. It's not what other person does. It's not any of that. Because at the end of the day, like you can't control that. Why worry about something you can't control? It's gonna only lead you down a road where you end up hating everybody, where you get so negative about the world, and you feel so helpless, and you feel like a victim, and you're a little like baby, like you're just a baby out there like looking for help, and you're never gonna get it. And I think that's a pretty poor. I think that's a pretty poor mentality, and that's exactly why you have to get out of that mentality. That's almost entirely the first step of self improvement is recognizing that you can change things, and you aren't helpless, but the person and the thing that you can change is you. As soon as you recognize that and you begin to want to change you, and it's scary for a lot of people, and it's scary thinking of that change because your mind, I mean obviously your mind just goes to the negative sometimes because I mean your mind doesn't like to change, but a lot of times if you there's a moth right there, a lot of the times if you want that, it's about that change, and you need to get comfortable with that. You need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's a big theme too. I think that's just about I think that's just about it. If there's anything you could probably take away from this video, it's you need to control yourself. You don't control other people, you don't control other things. You control yourself and yourself only. And secondly, wanting to be better is the first step. And you looking at this video and you paying attention this long, and taking this advice means that you want to be better. And that's incredibly important. And three, don't be a baby. Chase after something. Whether it's something super small like running or like running half a mile, like weightlifting for 10 minutes, body weight exercises, 10 push-ups, whatever it is, reading 10 pages, reading 5 pages, like wherever you are, and meditating for 3 minutes, like whatever you're doing, you have to be chasing something better. Those are the main three things that I want you to take away from this video. And I think that's it. See ya.